Welcome friends to the newcamera.com channel. Today we are talking about the top and best Canon cameras you can buy in the year of 2020. Now before we begin this guide, let me tell you a few things that before buying a camera, always look for your own personal requirements that you have from a camera. Now once your requirements are sorted out, now look for the budget you have, the amount of budget you have, and buy the best camera that fits your requirement. uh, since after buying camera you have to buy lenses, better lenses to get better output. Camera is just a doorway of investment. Once you invest in the camera body, now you have to invest on lenses. For example, I am recording this video with the 200D Mark II SL3 camera with a 50mm f1.8 lens. So if you want to get some better outputs, you have to invest in prime lenses, you have to invest in zoom lenses. If you are an architectural shooter, or if you want ultra wide shots, then you have to invest in ultra wide zoom lenses. So there are different type of lenses for every camera system, but too much investing in a camera isn't a good decision, since you have to invest a bit more on lenses to get the real output from a camera. Now let's begin the guide. Now the first camera in our guide is Canon 200D Mark II SL3 camera. The camera I am using right now is the Canon 200D2 camera. Now why I am using this camera and why I am recommending this camera to you? Now, one of the biggest feature of this camera is the camera features third generation of DPF system. Now in this video I am not going to explain all the features that generally YouTubers do. For that you can visit other websites like BNH and all that. I'm just going to discuss the best things you get from this camera and the problems you have to face if you get this camera. So the good and bad things I'm going to discuss in this video. Now let's jump on the topic. 200D2 or SL3 is one of the best camera to begin. The reason why this is the best camera right now, and even better than the M50, the mirrorless camera M50. In general, I recommend mirrorless camera to consumers or users, because the DSLRs makers right now, specifically Canon and Nikon, are more interested towards the development and announcement of mirrorless cameras instead of the DSLRs. But right now the 200D2 is the best option in Canon if you're entry level or mid-range shooter. Now why it's the best option right now? Since you get eye autofocus tracking feature, and with this feature the camera accurately focuses on the subject eyes and face all the time, either you are creating your videos or capturing a still image. So this is one of the best camera to begin with. Now in terms of specs, the camera looks same, but it do have lots of improvement. The camera sensor is redesigned compared to the 200D camera, and now you are getting better. More than 3000 autofocusing points in this camera, which is further divided into AF zones, but you have a lot more AF points compared to the predecessor. Why it's better than the M50 right now? Since it features third generation AF tech, so the autofocusing system of this camera is pretty much more accurate and fast. So I am recommending this camera to my users if they want to begin their content creating career or still photography career with a Canon camera. Then the best option right now in the year of 2020 is the 200D2 or SL3 camera. Now the next recommendation is of course the Canon M6 Mark II camera. The M6 Mark II camera is one of the first Canon mirrorless camera that records uncropped 4K video and captures 32.5 MP high resolution images. So if you look at the still part of the camera or the video part of the camera is very well balanced, and it's an excellent choice for hybrid shooter or even a still photographer, since you are getting a enormous amount of resolution and you are getting lots of detail compared to the other cameras of the same range. I am also going to put the dynamic range test of this camera in the description box below, so you can look for yourself that the sensor is really good. So if you're a still shooter or a content creator or videographer, and if you want to buy a camera in $1,000 range, if you're living in India, let's say its price is somewhere around 80 to 90,000, is प्राइस में आपको कैमरा मिलेगा. सो दिस इज द बेस्ट कैमरा इफ यू आर लुकिंग फॉर अ गुड APS-C camera or a good Canon camera to begin with. Then M6 is the best option right now. Now why 90D is even better than M6 Mark II? There are three main reasons why 90D is better than M6 Mark II. The first reason is the weather sealing. 90D is weather sealed. The second reason is the battery life. Enormous amount of battery life in the 90D camera. You are getting 300 plus shots battery life with a 90D camera, whereas the M6 Mark II limited to 300 to 400 shots. Now the third and the last reason is DSLR grip you are getting. The hand grip you are getting with the camera, the DSLR look, feel and style. If you are a long time DSLR user and thinking to upgrade or buy a new camera, then 90D will going to suit your need. So these are the three main reasons that I think makes 90D camera slightly better than the M6 Mark II. Now all these three cameras I am talking about right now, the 200D2, M6 Mark II, 90D is one of the best cameras in Canon right now. Now let's talk about the problems. With the 200D2, you are limited to full HD video recording mode. Yeah, you can record 4K, but you have to face 1.6x plus 1.6x crop. That's an enormous amount of crop, approximately 2.56x crop, and at the same time you are not getting dual pixel CMOS autofocusing support. You have to depend on contrast based AF system only. Now in M6 Mark II and as well as in 90D, you don't have to face any crop, but the 4K doesn't contain as much as details as we get from the Sony cameras. Since Sony cameras in general capture 6K video footage, then they downsample it to 4K, so we generally get a lot of details from them, but not in the case of M6 Mark II 90D. But if you are a YouTube content creator, then this quality is just enough for you. So these three cameras are one of the best cameras to begin with. Now if you don't want to get a APS-C sensor, if you're thinking to buy a full frame camera, the best option is Canon EOS R. Now EOS R is an excellent still shooting machine. Just remember my words right now, what I am saying. The Canon EOS R camera is an excellent still shooting machine, but if you want to record videos with this camera, then believe me, EOS M6 Mark II and 90D is a better option compared to the EOS R camera. If you want to or if you wish to record 4K videos with the EOS R camera, then you have to buy super wide prime lenses or super wide angle zoom lenses for your camera, since you have to face 1.7x to 1.8x crop factor with the EOS R camera. Now let's discuss why I am not recommending EOS RP camera to my users or those who are watching this video. Now the big reason behind the EOS RP camera is not on my list, not on my good camera list, since it is using 6D Mark II redesigned sensor, which is of course outdated sensor in the market today. Now for still shooting part, EOS RP is not a good camera. It do needs a sensor upgrade, as well as it's not a good video recording camera, since in the 4K video recording mode you are not getting DPF sensor support, you are not getting DPF autofocusing system support. You have to depend upon contrast detect AF system. At the same time you have to face enormous 1.7x crop, so it's completely unusable camera for 4K video recording purpose. You have to invest a lot of money for the EOS RP camera, and you are not getting that output in the still part of video part. So EOS RP camera is not good camera to begin with. If you want to invest in Canon camera, then begin with the 200D2 or XL3 camera. It's a good hybrid camera. After that my recommendation is M6 Mark II. If you want weather sealing, if you want better battery life, if you want DSLR hand grip and all that stuff, then 90D is the best camera for you. And if you want to invest in full frame camera in the year of 2020, then of course EOS R camera is one of the best camera right now for still shooting purpose. Now for video purpose, EOS R is also not recommended. Better to go with the M6 Mark II or 90D. So these were my recommendation for the year of 2020. If you have any questions, you can post in the comment section below. Thank you very much for watching this video, and do subscribe to my channel if you like this video. Thank you very much for watching this.